Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. We're back at Evans Estate after a wonderful spring vacation. I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans.
Hello, I'm Alan. We're so relaxed, babe.
So relaxed.
We're so tanned.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I'm tanned.
Yeah, you got some color at the beach. My goal every time I go on vacation is to come back as white as I was when I left, because I got a really serious sunburn many years ago that led to sun poisoning. And I prayed to God, get me through this, and I will never allow this to happen to me again. And so far, knock wood.
I am fried, dyed, and laid to the side.
Yeah, Alan thinks because it's chilly outside, I mean, there's not a cloud in the sky, that because it's cold, he can't get sunburned. I was like, where is that logic? Usually
not
it's
what
people that
happened.
people usually think when it's cloudy you can't get sunburned, but you can. We were just sitting out there in the sun, and then after he's out there for about an hour, he decides, maybe I'm getting a little color here, so he puts sunscreen on, but by then it's too late.
Well, down in Galveston for spring break, it was in the 60s most of the days we were there.
Yeah.
And I decided one morning, all the way into the afternoon, Kelly and I had this little routine. We'd go out on the back porch and drink our coffee in the morning, and the sun came.
Nice to
it was
have
so
no
nice.
schedule, wasn't it?
And the sun came out that day, and I decided to go shirtless. And I never put sunscreen on, but it was cool. Like, it felt cool, and the sun was shining on me, so I never felt like I was getting cooked.
You did.
But I did. But
man,
I did.
What a difference with that Filipino blood, because if I got cooked, I would be, suffering for a solid week where I couldn't lift my arms over my head. I'd get the blisters. I remember very vividly my mother popping water blisters on my back as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And you never hurt.
No.
You were blood red, and the next day it turned into a tan.
Turned into a tan.
Life is just not fair.
That's because you're married to an Asian.
Yes.
Yes.
Half Filipino.
Half Filipino. So I've got the Pacific Islander skin.
Very lucky. I was so happy my daughter, her father is Persian, so I'm happy that she doesn't burn like I do. So I'm the only one sitting there wrapped in with towels around my legs and a big hat and SPF 100 if I can find it under an umbrella. I'm a lot of fun at the beach, aren't I?
Yeah,
I try to
Kelly's
be.
not much of a beach person, but
I try to hang in there.
We still have fun because, like I said, we drink coffee together, and we drank coffee together.
Yeah, on the beach we drank wine together because we were trying to warm up. Like, in Alaska when those snow dogs, what do they carry in their buckets around their neck, those barrels around their necks, those St. Bernards? What do they carry? Whiskey or something to, when they rescue people, they have to give them a shot of something to warm them up. So we were warming ourselves up with red wine on the beach, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Didn't warm me up.
We had a good time, and you talked about at length on the radio about the trip down there. So I don't know that we have to rehash all that.
Well, we talked about it, I think, a little bit. Didn't we talk about it on last week's podcast?
A little bit.
I think we did.
I think we were going to go through the ride home just real quick. Was there any
we
big
didn't need to
adventures
say-
on the ride home?
After we did last week's podcast, which we did live from Galveston, well, we recorded it live, whatever. We went as a family, and I feel really bad talking about this. I almost don't want to because I'm afraid people are going to think I'm a bad American.
Oh, yeah.
We went to NASA.
Well, I'm not trying to hijack your story
go
here.
Go ahead.
It's a museum next to NASA.
The museum next to NASA.
It's the Space Center.
Right.
Museum.
It's the one that you can go through
right.
as a civilian.
Right. Sorry, babe.
No, you're not. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
That was one of the most boring things I've ever experienced in my life.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Eesh.
Which makes me un-American.
Oh.
It's a museum, so you see a lot of astronaut outfits.
There were rockets.
But
there were
we didn't
space landers.
Okay, here's the problem that we experienced. Because it was spring break, and because NASA's in Houston, and Houston was on spring break as well, it was just jam-packed. And the only thing they say that's really the highlight of the NASA is going on that tram, that shuttle tour that lasts, I believe they said 45 minutes.
4-hour wait, brother.
There was a 4-hour wait to get on the tram. So when we realized that, we're like, well, let's just look around at the exhibit. So we looked around. After you see a few astronaut uniforms, that's cool. We found a movie theater that was looping this 15-minute movie. We watched that. So then we said, well, why don't we go get some lunch? Then we went to the one big cafeteria they had. It was a madhouse. So Alan and I looked at each other. We'd been there a grand total of an hour. It was so expensive to get in.
At about $27 a person, times 6.
Yeah, even if you're 4 and above, they have to pay.
We said, no, we've had enough of this.
We asked the kids, "Are y'all ready to go?"
And they looked at us. I don't think they were having the best time
They
in the
weren't.
world,
They
but they
weren't.
looked at us like, really? We're going to leave already?
Well, but we were like, "If y'all see, do y'all want to see anything else?"
And they were like,
"No."
no.
So anyway, I mean, I know a lot of people really love space, and maybe if we'd gone on another day when there weren't a million people there, and maybe if they had more than one tram operating, I think that's something NASA needs to look at, because I don't know, beyond the most the hyped up rides at Disney World, you're not waiting 4 hours to get on something, are you? Maybe on,
No.
they've worked
Here's-
out a fast pass at Disney World. There's got to be some way to fix that.
After
because
being through there, here's my take on it.
I feel horrible.
I think your kids, in my opinion, need to be a little bit older to appreciate some of that.
Well,
'Cause
I'm
there's,
older.
Well, there's a lot. It's like a museum. There's lots
Yeah.
of reading,
Yeah,
lots
there
of
was a lot of
little
reading.
tiny words, and lots of stories about.
And that 15-minute film was really excellent. It was very entertaining, that 15-minute film we saw. I don't know that it was worth $27 per person, if that was what it was. I feel like it was more than that. Maybe it averaged that with the kids' prices. But I don't feel like it was... I'm sorry. I wish we had gone to the Moody Gardens instead.
We'll do that
because that was
next
about the
time,
same
yeah.
price. But they had an aquarium and then this rainforest kind of place, and they had a big paddle boat ride. And
Yeah.
stuff. That might have been more.
Most
something
people
for us.
who told us about that place loved it.
I know.
And I think I would have really gotten into it more, like you said, if it wasn't so damn packed.
It was just
I mean, there was just too many people.
Yeah. So anyway, there's our NASA experience.
That was our NASA experience, yeah.
And I'm sorry, I do love America, and I love astronauts.
I love space.
Space is, the final frontier. So anyway, there's that. There's
that
our
mean?
little recap of NASA. But maybe you've gone and loved it, and you can just tell me how ridiculous I am and that I don't love America because of that. But I really do.
I did learn one thing when I was there.
What?
They had one of the space shuttle booster rockets there.
Yes.
Remember that big rocket we always had to meet by?
The orange
Well,
one.
right next to that orange rocket was an engine. Mm-hmm. And I was reading all that fine print about that engine. Mm-hmm. It said that's the most powerful rocket engine ever developed.
Right.
And they're like, I don't know the specs, like 12 million horsepower or something.
That's a lot of horses.
It said those rockets are powerful enough to move like 100 aircraft carriers around the world
Wow.
at 25 miles an hour.
Wow.
I mean, that's powerful.
That's powerful.
That's powerful.
Was that worth $27 on average to learn that fact?
No.
You could've
And some
Googled it.
rocket scientist figured out how to make that rocket work.
Yeah, that is incredible. So anyway, that's the last of our tales from spring break.
We'll do it again someday.
What, spring break?
Spring break.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, and we made it back just fine in Constantine. One thing about Constantine, I don't know if a lot of our listeners have heard. I was fascinated.
Well, Constantine is our minivan.
Constantine is our Chrysler Pacifica minivan. Awesome van. First road trip we've taken it on.
Right.
Constantine has this feature called adaptive cruise control.
Oh,
Has
Alan
anybody
was-
heard of this?
Alan was just in hog heaven playing
Check
with
this
that
out.
thing.
Check this out. You set your adaptive cruise control. Constantine shoots a laser out of the front,
It's crazy.
and it adjusts the speed of the vehicle to the speed of the vehicle in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're going 70 at cruise, and then you come up behind a truck going 60, then you just slow down to 60, and then you move out from behind it, and then you speed
speeds
back
back up.
I mean, okay. So then I'm like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. Then it also has this feature that's lane diversion. If you're falling asleep at the wheel and the car senses you going out of your lane, it'll steer you back in the lane.
Yes.
So then I got to thinking, well, crap. I'm going to put my adaptive cruise control on. I'm going to put the lane diversion on, and I'm going to go to sleep.
No, Alan, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. That's dangerous.
Well, I did that, and then I took my hands off the wheel for just a second,
just to see what would happen.
and it said, "Put your hands on the wheel." It did.
Yelled at you?
It on the panel. It
It
said,
yelled at you, so I didn't have to.
right. It said, "Put your hands back on the wheel." So
But I was a good travel companion. Normally on road trips, I sleep. And I mean, before we're backing out of the driveway, I sleep. But I stayed awake the entire road trip to and from. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal
You
for
did.
me.
You did.
You're
You did.
welcome.
You did. You gave me.
And we
You
navigated.
gave me lots of help.
We navigated. The biggest thing we ever fight about, the hugest arguments we have are in the car when it's over navigation. But working together with Waze and Google Maps, we made it home safely. And in time for you to get your hair cut.
And
That was the big rush to get home, as Alan had a hair appointment.
And here's the deal. A lot of people have told me, hey, don't you know, dummy, that Waze uses Google.
Is that the way people talk? Is that the way people who love you and want to help you
I'm just
talk?
doing the generic
Dumb guy
helping
voice?
person.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the helpful voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And no, they don't, because if you put in the same destination,
Right.
they take you two different ways.
Right. It did do two. So we played them against each other.
Right.
But together they worked.
Right.
So anyway, that's it. But we do love our minivan, and people can mock us, and I don't care. I will take my van to VIP. I'll pull up to valet. I don't care.
Well, that van
I
is
love my
great.
minivan.
It has these games in the back that the kids
Yes.
can play on their screens. They can play license plate bingo. They can play
Yeah.
sign
I
bingo,
Spy,
I
stuff
Spy
like that. Mm-hmm.
bingo or something. All these different games.
And movies, but the kids didn't care about watching movies because they're all on their phones doing their own thing.
No, another thing that van. Why are we selling this van? But another
I
thing
don't know.
that
We're not getting sponsored for it.
hashtag not an ad. But another thing that van it has a vacuum in the back.
Yeah, I haven't used that yet. Have you used it?
I haven't used that yet.
Well, we should, based on that road trip. Okay, let's talk about something else.
How about bum ask Alan?
Oh, ask Alan anything. You didn't give me any warning.
Sorry, babe. We're producing on the fly here.
Is this an Ask Alan Anything
Yeah,
segment?
we got this one.
Is this segment sponsored? Ask Alan Anything is sponsored today.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we do this?
Is it related to love?
Yes.
Then this Ask Alan Anything is sponsored by eHarmony.
eHarmony.
Yes, if you're trying to date online, chances are you have run into the lazy text message exchange where it's just back and forth texting, a dead end that never goes anywhere, or random matches that don't ever turn into actual dates.
Can you get to know somebody just by looking at their picture?
No.
No.
I mean, and sometimes their pictures aren't really the truth. So are you even getting to know the real person with that picture? Well, that's where eHarmony comes in, because it's unlike any other online dating site you'll find. They take steps that other sites don't to find you a compatible match.
They're all about building lasting, meaningful relationships. This isn't a shallow hookup site.
No, it's not. And they've helped over 1 million people find their perfect match by using years of science, psychological research. I know years ago when I filled out that compatibility quiz, it took me a long, long time to fill it out, but they have edited that down. It's a really quick and easy process. So if you tried it in the past, maybe it's time for you to try eHarmony again.
You know what? There are a lot of hookup sites out there, babe. That's not what this is all about. That's not what
you just said.
That's not what eHarmony is.
You just
Well, that's a point we need to make.
we're bouncing back and forth in time.
Yeah, so right now our listeners can get a free month with eHarmony when they sign up for a 3-month subscription.
Wow.
Enter our code SANDWICH at checkout.
Stop waiting and start your journey to a satisfying, meaningful relationship. You may have had fun playing around on dating apps. When you're serious and ready to fall in love and looking for that meaningful relationship, the only app that's built to bring you that is eHarmony. So come see how eHarmony can change your life. Go to eHarmony.com to get started. Enter sandwich at checkout. Ta-da!
Boom.
And then let us know. We want to hear your success stories because, as you know, Alan and I met through an online dating site, and we're happy to share our story. I know some people still lie about how they met with online dating because back in the day, everybody was embarrassed to admit that's how they met. But now everybody's doing it. So we'd love to hear your stories of success.
You'll buy a car
And maybe some
online.
of
You'll
your-
buy a house online.
Yeah, and maybe some of your
Why
funny
would you not
stories.
date online?
We want to hear some of their funny stories too. Maybe
Yeah.
you can send us those at kellyanddallin.com. How do they submit letters there? Like ask Alan anything and anything else they want to talk
Just
about.
click on our little pictures, our little circular pictures at the top of the screen on kellyanallen.com. It'll take you to a page where you can submit a question
or
using a form.
comment or anything. And like this one we got from our podcast listener, Lori.
Okay, hold on.
What?
Ask Alan.
Ask Alan anything. I tried to change it up a little bit. Hi, Alan and Kelly.
Hello.
Alan, she says, actually. I'm writing to you to ask about something I've been thinking about lately.
Okay.
My boyfriend and I will be dating for 4 years this July. We were best friends 2 years prior to dating. Oh, they may That's a hard thing to do.
They were
Go from
friends for 2 years and
they
then
were
4
best
years
friends.
of dating. Okay.
That's a hard transition to make.
I'm with you so far.
So last year, Lori says, I had an idea and I felt like it was about that time to get engaged. The majority of our closest friends around us are, and I think this is what sparked this feeling in me, on top of people always asking, when are you two getting engaged? When are you two getting married? So I told him he had, she gave him an ultimatum. He had until July 2018 to propose, or I was over it relationship-wise. So last year, around October, November, he was told from his job that he was going to get laid off by the summer of 2018. Well, that's when she gave him the deadline, Alan. So
How long did she give him?
Until July of 2018. She told him this last year. So anyway, she said, I dropped the pressure. I stopped bringing it up because I didn't want to be pushy, not knowing what the future had to hold for him and his job situation. Well, now he has a new position, better opportunity, and better money. And I still haven't said anything about my expectations of being engaged. My intentions for this engagement is just to be asked. It's not that I want to get married right away or anything. Honey, I got to talk to you about that. But I'll let you finish asking Alan anything. Let's see.
Wait, what was the last part? Her intentions were what?
Just to get engaged. She's not in a rush to get married.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So anyway, let's see where I was. I just want to be asked to know that this is the direction we are going and we aren't going to be together for another 6 years and not married. Am I being too pushy? Am I being simply too impatient? Should I at least bring it up again to say how I feel? And there's a little bit more there, but I think that's the basic gist of it. She said he'll be 30 in July and she just turned 27. Thanks in advance. Love you guys. And that's from Lori. I have a lot to say, but I'm going to this is Ask Alan.
No,
anything.
I know you have, I know where you're going to go on this, and I definitely want you to
chime in after.
Chime in, but here's my thing on this. There was a time when AE was me. I was
AE was you.
I was a young man, and there were people getting engaged all around me.
Same thing that Lori's going through.
Yeah, same thing that Lori's going through. And I thought, well, gosh, everyone else is doing it. Maybe I should do it too. And I don't know that that's the best way to approach an engagement.
But I think that happens a lot with men.
It
happens a lot with men because they do at a certain age, they're getting pressure from their parents. They are seeing everybody around them getting engaged. So it's like they end up getting engaged to the one they happen to be with because that's the thought process at that time.
Yeah.
That does happen.
But as I sit here today as a older man, looking back at me when I was a younger man.
Yes.
How can I say this? If I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't let other people and their expectations of my life change my thinking.
Right.
I think you should get engaged when you and your partner feel like it's a good time for you to be engaged. That's just one point. That I don't care what anybody thinks about, an engagement or a marriage. That should be between those two people. Right. I mean, you can bounce stuff off your family or your good friends, but just because everyone else in your friends group who happens to be the same age has a certain level of job or has a certain kind of car or or they're getting engaged, they're getting married, they're now a little family that has a 1-year-old now. It's hard to turn your back on that and say, that's fine. But people notice those things, and I think it's hard to ignore that. But gosh, I think the first time I was married, I wish I hadn't listened to so many people. I guess that's what I would say. Yeah. I wish I had not listened to so many people.
Well, here's another thing, too, that I don't think you should just get engaged just so you can be engaged.
Right.
I think you get engaged with the intent of, now let's start planning the wedding. That's my opinion. I don't get this people that stay engaged. If you're okay with that, and that's fine. If you want to live a life of engagement with not moving forward towards marriage, because just getting the ring to some people is enough. Right? So I don't want to get engaged and say, we'll plan the wedding later. No, I want to know we're going to be getting married. Let's plan for a fall wedding, or let's plan But that's my
Yeah.
opinion on that.
I agree. I mean, the engagement should be something between the two of you. You know, come up with a time frame that works for both of you, and that's
Yes.
another thing we'll address here in a second. Is this ultimatum she's put on him? And
Well, I also have an opinion on that. But
Yeah.
I want to hear your opinion on that.
Well, and then I agree. An engagement shouldn't be, okay, we're engaged. Well,
Now
you're
what?
engaged to be married. So
Right.
there should be some discussion of, okay, if there is this commitment, now what are we going to do after that? Is it going to be 6 months? Is it going to be a year? Are we
Yes.
going to have a long engagement? Is it going to be 2 years? Let's agree on what our plan is from there.
Set a date. You get a ring,
Right.
and you get a date, and then you're officially engaged.
Right. Because if we're engaged, I'm just saying, if I was in this, if I'm going to be engaged to you, then I want to marry you.
Yeah, if he's just giving you a ring and y'all have no intention of getting married,
No,
and
forget it.
a definite, that's just a shut up ring.
Yeah.
He's
right.
just giving you a ring to shut you up.
Yeah, forget about that.
Okay, and now let's talk about the ultimatum, because I kind of a little bit pressured you into proposing, but I also knew we were going in that direction. It was definitely happening, but I also but see, that's a little bit different than she's in, right? Because he's not, is he giving her indication? I don't recall, but
I don't think he's given her a lot of indication. No.
I was giving you pressure to propose because I had a vacation schedule and I needed to get married on my vacation. So that was my like, hurry it up here.
Well, yeah.
That was different
Kelly's
than what this
situation
is.
is a little unique. Our situation was a little unique because Kelly's job is unique in that she has set vacation times.
Right.
And I knew this, but if we weren't getting engaged at a certain time, our engagement wouldn't be long enough to where
I could plan a decent wedding.
Kelly and I could plan a wedding so that we could take a honeymoon on one of the only 2 times a year she can really get away from work for an extended
time.
period of time.
But in her case, in Lori's case, it doesn't sound like they're even discussing it. She's like, either you propose by next July or I'm out. That's different. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't saying I'm out. I'm just like, if you don't propose by this date, we're going to have to get married at Christmas. And I don't want to get married at Christmas. That was a different conversation.
Right.
So if a man is not, if you've been dating 4 years, let's say, and a girl or woman gives the ultimatum, what do you think about that?
Here's what I think about that. I think that language that she's using to me would be like, all right,
turn off?
Well, then I'm out. But maybe it should be more, hey, we've been dating now for 4 years. I really want a family someday. I want to be your husband or your wife someday. And for that to happen, we're eventually going to have to get engaged. Now, I want that to happen sooner than later. If it happens later, I just don't see us having a future together because we've had all this time together and it just hasn't materialized for us. But if you come at a guy like that with an ultimatum, especially me, this is just personally me. If you tell me you're going to do this and that's the way it's going to be, then I'm going to do the exact opposite. So I don't know if that's how he is or not, but I don't know a lot of men that like being pressured into doing something that's a big life choice.
Right.
Whether it's a job, buying a house, getting engaged, spending a bunch of money. Men don't like to be pressured into doing those kind of things. And this is a big deal. So, I mean, that's what I think about it.
Well, giving the ultimatum is not the best thing in the world, but here's the little danger zone you've gotten yourself into now. I wouldn't mention it again because, as Alan said, the more I talked about it, the more he was prolonging the engagement because he wanted to surprise me and he wanted it to be his idea and everything. He knows how you feel about it. You've already told him July 2018. Well, now what are you going to do July 2018 if it gets to be August 1st and he hasn't proposed? You've got to follow through on your threat.
Yeah.
You've got to walk away, not with any anger,
Yeah.
not with a pout and a stomp out the door. You've got to say, I told you what I want in this relationship, and you're not the one that's going to give it to me. So I'm sorry. I'm still young. 27 is young. You've got time. You've got some time to find true love again. I promise. But you've got to follow through on that threat. And if you leave gracefully and, with your head held high and say, I have standards that I've set for myself. I told you what they are. And he remembers. Don't think you have to remind him. He remembers. Guys don't just forget you gave him a July 2018 ultimatum. But if he decides to surprise you before then, which I think he might. Don't you think?
He might.
He might
It's
pop
hard
up
to say.
and
I don't
surprise
know.
you before
It's
July.
hard
But
to
I'm
say.
telling you, if August comes around and you're still with him and nothing has changed in your relationship, you've just taught him that it's not that important to you.
Right.
So That's my advice. It's like, you better be prepared to follow through on your threat. It's just like disciplining children. And I'm not calling men children. I'm just saying you've got to follow through or they never believe you're serious.
That's why I would use different language. I wouldn't use an ultimatum, because if you do, to your point, if you get up to that point, you either walk or you look like, well, you have empty threats, and you've blown your chance at perhaps this materializing into an engagement where if you had just said, hey, like I said before, if you know, we've dated a long time, let's look at our future together, let's sit down and talk about it, and I really want this to happen. If you had approached it a little bit differently, it might have worked out differently.
But don't bring it up again. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Just see what's going to happen. But hopefully he's going to
I don't know,
give you the ring that you want. But set a date. Don't leave it open-ended like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that's just me.
You think that we're helpful?
Did that Ask Alan and Kelly anything? Did that evolve into that?
Well, she asked us both.
I hope that was helpful.
That wasn't an Ask Alan, but
we turned it into that.
We turned it into that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a love. You know what? She actually put
she
love
said
letter to Alan and Kelly, but you were first.
Yeah. So we answered it.
Great. I'm glad. Hopefully that helped, and you can let us know how it turns out. We always want to hear how things turn out. We are very invested in your lives.
We're very invested in your happiness.
We are. We want everybody to be happy.
Oh, I know what I was going to write down. Okay.
What?
Well, we're going to talk a little basketball too.
Basketball? Why?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that real quick. So
why did you write it down if we're going to talk about it now?
We're going to talk about it now. So the NCAA basketball tournament is going. We won't spend a lot of time on this because I know a lot of people don't care, but I care.
I care because you care. Because
the school I went to, I graduated from Texas Tech University in Lubbock, Texas. They are in the Sweet 16 in the NCAA men's basketball tournament, which is a big deal for Texas Tech fans because
your football sucks.
Well, football has not been great lately.
It's not been.
Basketball, though, babe.
Yes, that's your thing.
No. Basketball.
Texas Tech's
no,
thing.
No.
I thought this year was a great year.
The women have always had good basketball. The men have only been to the Sweet 16 4 times in school history.
Oh.
So this never happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Kelly and I are going to a watching party on Friday, and I hope it's not a fail. I hope it's a good time. And
Is it a good watching party?
Well, it's at a local restaurant here, and the Collin County Texas Tech Alumni Association is having that party there, the watching party there.
Where is it? We could tell people that are local if they want to go watch.
Okay. Well, it's at Concrete Cowboy.
Oh, that sounds like my kind of place.
At the Star in Frisco.
Okay.
And I think the game starts around 8 o'clock, 8:15.
What time are we getting there?
We're
not going to get there like at 7 and get a seat, are we?
Oh, we're going to get there and get us a barley pop and a whiskey, and you can get your dirty martini, and
I don't know if I can have that.
We'll have a good time.
Maybe I can. I'll have to look at my book to see if I can have that.
Your book. Before we talk about your book, babe, let's talk about this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got to squeeze some stuff in here, y'all.
We got to squeeze some stuff in here. But our next segment, which is Kelly's keto diet, is brought to you by...
I'm hesitantly talking about that, but I am going to talk to you very proudly about FrameBridge.
FrameBridge.
Because if you've heard us on the show, you've heard us talk about FrameBridge, framebridge.com, where you can do some custom framing for your home, for your favorite things. It's not just about the precious photos like our wedding photos, but if you have art prints or maybe your baby's christening gown, things like that, they can professionally frame that for you. They send you the packaging and everything for free when it's things like that, and you mail it back to framebridge.com. You go online, they have such a huge selection of frames and mats you can choose from, but if you feel like, I'm not really sure, they have experts there at framebridge.com to help you pick out the perfect, maybe they're like, have you thought about doing it this way instead? And what I love about FrameBridge is not only the quick turnaround, they are the packaging.
You love the packaging.
The packaging is unbelievable.
Yeah.
When you get it, it is packaged like the most precious work of art. There's a little handwritten note from the person that framed it for you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And when we put our house in the market, the realtor says, you've got to get rid of all your personal photos. You don't put that. I'm like, I'm not taking down my FrameBridge because those pictures are so gorgeous.
And you know what else?
I'm not taking them down.
It's not just pictures. I mean, everybody has a box full of ticket stubs.
Yes.
They'll mount those. art prints, posters, anything. You name it, they'll provide a secure prepaid packaging so you can mail it to
Yes.
them for free.
They provide that packaging. So it's really great. And a lot of it you can do just right online too. And if you would like to get started with FrameBridge, because we're just huge fans of it, you can get started framing your photos or art today if you go to framebridge.com and use the promo code SANDWICH to save an additional 15% off your first order. So have a big order ready so you can get a big savings.
So go to framebridge.com, promo code SANDWICH.
Framebridge.com, that's FRAME bridge.com, code SANDWICH. Now we're going to talk about, speaking of sandwiches.
15%, babe.
That I can't have.
That's not insignificant savings. That is significant savings.
It is significant savings. Okay, let me just talk to you really quick about
What
this.
What is keto, babe?
I don't know. This is okay. This is silliness, but I'm trying it. I follow this woman on Instagram, and she is a lifestyle blogger. Maybe you follow her. She lives in Nashville, which is why I want to go to Nashville now, because I don't know what it is about her. I love her. Her name is Landon, and her blog
This is the keto person?
No. Well, Living with Landon. Okay. So Living with Landon.
No, I know her,
Is
yeah.
doing this keto thing, and she interviewed the lady doing the keto
Why
book.
is she doing the keto thing? She's thin
She's
as a
thin
rail.
But you know what? She's keeping in check. She just turned 40, and your body changes, your metabolism changes, and things that used to work for you don't. So she's doing keto. And she'll go on vacation and go off of it, but she gets right back on keto.
Okay.
And she's been talking about it and loving it. And I love Landon. And anyway, so
She really does. I mean,
she was,
Landon's always in bed with us.
yes, I can't help it. I look at her Instagram stories. She's a little bit silly, and she, stuff. Anyway,
As
I don't
it were.
care.
Yeah.
She has the most fabulous closet I've ever seen in my life, and I'm living vicariously through her. All right. So she started doing this book by Suzanne, somebody, I forgot her last name right now, but it's called Simply Keto. This is a woman who was addicted to sugar and carbs and all that, the same things, carbs, I love them. And she was over 200 pounds, approaching 300 pounds. She's 5'11".
Really?
Yeah, and she'd been off and on everything. It had been really hard for her. But then she discovered keto. She went online and started this YouTube community. And now she's got this huge blog, and I think it's called Keto Karma. Anyway, so Landon was showing this book. I was like, well, I want to buy the book that Landon's bought. So I got the Simply Keto book, and I took it with me on spring break. And while I'm sitting there on the patio drinking my coffee, I'm reading about how keto works. Basically what it is low carb, minimal protein, and high fat.
That's the key, right? High
Yes,
fat,
which is so satisfying.
but good fat.
But it's good fats. It's not just you lick the grease off the bottom of the cinnamon roll pans.
Like, what
That
are
doesn't
examples
count.
of good fat?
Like, coconut oil,
Olive
butter, not margarine, butter. Instead of half and half, you use heavy whipping cream in your coffee. 'Cause
Really?
I don't drink, I can't drink black coffee. Maybe one day I'll wean myself down using sugar substitutes and things like that. It teaches
Olive oil?
you. Yes, olive oil's on there, coconut oil. And this thing called MCT oil, which I have to find online. I don't even know. But it's supposed to help you with ketosis. So anyway, I've started doing that just to see what would happen. I'm kind of lazy about it because you're supposed to do blood tests every day to check if you're in ketosis or not. I'm not going
you
to
have
do
to drink
that.
a lot of water too, babe.
I drink enough.
It's tough.
I don't drink a ton of water, but I take one of those big giant liter bottles every day and at least try to finish
It's
that.
tough on your kidneys on those low carb diets. You got to drink
Okay,
a
I'll
lot
try
of
to
water. You
drink.
got
I
to
thought
drink
it
a
was
lot
a
of
high
water.
protein diet, so it was tough on
Well,
your kidneys.
yeah. So
This
if
is
you're
minimal protein. It's like not minimal, but it's like not
it's-
excessive.
but it's low carb,
It's low carb,
right?
But it's high fat. And so tonight, while we were late starting the podcast, I was making these things called fat bombs, because sometimes you get to the end of the day and you realize, oh my gosh, I haven't had enough fat, and you have to have enough fat to stay in ketosis. So these are like little butter, cream cheese, raspberry balls that I've got freezing now. I dropped the bowl and broke the whole bowl, but thankfully I'd already gotten all the
raspberry balls.
Yeah, I made those. There's also like a peanut butter one. They're called fat bombs. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. But I'll tell you, I think I had a really, because when you're coming off carbs, your body goes through these, it's a shock to your system. And I think it hit me today. I took a nap today. I could not get off that couch.
Y'all, I thought she was like in a sarcophagus. I mean, she would not move.
I couldn't move. But it just hit me. I was like, I'm so tired. I have to lie down. And I lay down, and of course, the minute you lay down, what happens? Ping, 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 ping. Your cell phone starts going off.
Hey, just real quick. Kelly she'll turn her phone off.
In church.
When I have to get a hold of her. No, you were in the grocery store the other
when I'm
day.
in
Your
church,
phone was off.
Because I was in church and forgot to turn it back on.
But
That's why it was off.
But then when it doesn't matter, I mean, or when she wants to get her rest, then she never turns her phone off.
Because I'm afraid I'll miss an important message.
Okay.
Something, that's why.
Okay.
But then after you woke me up, I said, I'm turning off my phone.
Okay, so anyway, back to keto.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's what's happened to me because today was day 3 and I bottomed out, man. I was so tired, but then I still made myself get up after a 2-hour nap and I did my Couch to 5K app and it was hard. I didn't have a lot. I had moments of bursts of energy, but man, my legs felt like cement, but I did it. And you're not supposed to weigh every day, but I can't help it.
Hey, I heard
I have lost about 3 pounds since I started. I kind of loosely did it Sunday because I was still shopping and figuring it out. But Sunday to today, I've lost like 3 pounds.
Hey, babe, I heard you're training for a 5K. What's the app you use?
Couch to 5K.
Oh, yeah, Couch to 5K.
Couch to 5K.
Couch to 5K.
Yes. And are we going to do it? Or, you know what? I don't really even have to run a legitimate 5K as long as I cover the miles personally. But if we're going to sign up for one, we need to do it before the heat of summer kicks in. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. And I didn't really know that I wanted to talk about it that much because I know people have fad diets all the time. They do. What are some of the fad diets?
South Beach.
The South Beach, the
Atkins.
Yeah, the caveman, the paleo.
They're all based on low carb because if you cut carbs entirely for like a couple of weeks, you drop weight fast.
Right. So,
but it's hard to sustain.
It is hard to
diet.
sustain. But if you are in the mental state, and this woman's lost a lot of weight and kept it off, but my doctor told me, Dr. Tigas, who we love, he said,
Dr. Tigas?
Gary Tigas.
Have I been to him?
No, because you won't switch, but I want you to switch to my doctor.
Okay.
I think you'd love him. When we got married, I told Alan he has to do everything I do, including my doctor. JC goes to him, and my mom and dad.
He's a general practitioner?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he can, okay. Yeah.
You want to share your personal health history now?
Well, I'm almost 50.
No, you're not. You got a few years to go.
Well, there's tests you have to do when you're almost 50.
Well, I'm sure he'll be gentle. But anyway,
Does he have small hands?
I don't know.
He's
very handsome, though.
He didn't used to play college basketball, did he?
He's so handsome, and he does a lot of mission work.
That's what I want to do.
He goes a lot of mission work. He does good work for he travels to foreign countries and does medical work. He's such a great guy.
Like Uganda?
But anyway, yes. So in the picture's all in his office. But Dr. Tigas told me once you hit 40, you just got to say bye-bye to carbs. He said there is just, and he's not one of those people that's really strict about it. He said, I'm not telling you can't have a piece of birthday cake, but he's saying as a rule of thumb, every day, your everyday diet, you need to cut the carbs. Mm-hmm. And he said, a lot of people don't eat fruit because of the high levels of sugar and the carbs. He said, nobody's ever gotten fat off of eating too much fruit. So he says he doesn't worry about fruit. He just worries about the starchy carbs,
pasta,
like the breads and the pastas.
Baked potato.
And I said, what about, because Sugar Busters was a diet I did many years ago. It started in New Orleans, and it was, you could eat rice, but it had to be brown rice, and you could eat whole wheat bread and things like that. And that worked for me, but I couldn't sustain it because it's really hard. But he said, no, he said a sweet potato, because on like Sugar Busters, you could eat sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes. He said, there's not that much nutritional value in a sweet potato. Eat something else. So anyway, that's his opinion on it. But I'm following keto, and hopefully, if I can get it ingrained in my bread enough, in my head enough. See, I am so carb deficient. I'm substituting words for bread.
Hashimoto's. Hey, as we speak, we have a TV monitor here in our studio.
South Beach Diet.
And there's a commercial for South Beach Diet with the lovely
Decker.
Jessie James Decker.
Yeah.
Who I think is pregnant.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't follow her reality show.
I think
should.
she is.
So anyway, I'll let you
child.
know. I'll let you know how the keto works for me. I'm not preaching it, but I'm going to try it.
Oh, but she's pitching South Beach.
Well, honey, if they want to hire me, I'll be on TV in my bikini. Show me some dollar
will you
signs.
now?
Give me some money and I will.
Oh, you can't sell out to advertisers.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Speaking of, did you know our podcast is brought to our wonderful listeners 95% commercial free?
I did not know that.
Yep.
Even though you've told us that every week for 3 weeks, I keep forgetting.
And some people say, "Oh, it can't be. So you got to space them out." Well, we usually do one.
Try to.
We do one at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end.
We try to.
That's spaced out.
But like I think on our spring break we had an abbreviated podcast, so it seemed like they came together a lot faster. But we'll do better. We'll try.
But I tell you what, you go back and look at all our podcasts. I bet most of them are over an hour.
Yeah, it's
that,
fine,
that
honey.
was a shorter one.
We don't let that bother you.
It doesn't.
It does bother you because you keep bringing it up.
Yeah, maybe.
But we're going to try something new because Alan and I, sure, we can talk about us all day
Well, wait a
long.
second.
What?
We're not going to do that yet.
We're not?
No.
What are we going to talk about?
Well, I just wanted to add a little color to your keto comments.
Oh, okay.
While Kelly...
Sorry, I was transitioning out of that.
Yeah, we'll do it. Can we just do that
Absolutely.
in just 2 seconds?
Absolutely.
But Kelly's been really good with her eating, her diet.
For 3 whole days.
Yeah, but she's starting to see some short-term results here. But through osmosis, I've been eating better at night because Kelly makes me something that's kind of healthy. You know, like tonight we had beef and broccoli, and last night I can't remember, but there's been
You had crawfish boil.
Oh, I had
'cause your
crawfish
parents
boil.
Gave you crawfish.
Yeah, and corn. So that was kind of low carb. But for lunch today, my mom and dad invited me and my sister. Kelly was invited, but she was at work.
I
Invited
like
us.
to eat really early.
Well, my dad even says, old people like to eat real early. So we roll on over to Red Lobster
At 11.
and we were the first ones to walk in the restaurant.
Were you there when they literally turned the key on the door to open up for business?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna throw my sister, Amanda Evans Wittenberg.
Oh, she's going to die that you just said her name on
I'm
the
gonna
podcast.
I'm gonna throw her out on Front Street. Amanda, my sister, we're eating there. She had 4 Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Those things are good. Those are so good.
I asked
don't
my dad.
shame her for that.
I asked my dad, how many calories?
She ain't on keto, obviously.
How many calories? No, here's the thing. How many calories are in a Cheddar Bay biscuit? My dad said, because he's like an encyclopedia. He said there's 250 in each Cheddar Bay biscuit. She had 1,000 calories of Cheddar
Why
Bay
are you
biscuits at
busting
lunch.
her like that?
Because my sister is training for a marathon. And she has been running now like 6 miles a day.
Okay, so she's probably needing the
So she
calories.
is so hungry. I have never seen my sister eat that much. And my sister is very small. She's not a big person.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe she had 4 Cheddar Bay biscuits. It was like, I was like,
Well,
I can't
being
believe
a
you
good brother, you shamed her through the entire meal, I'm sure. How many did you have?
I didn't have any.
What, were you trying to be superior to her?
No,
Or she just hogging all of them and you didn't have a
No.
chance to get one?
I had grilled shrimp and broccoli
So what in the world?
and brownie ice cream.
And brownie ice cream?
I had one of those meals where it's like you order soup, a salad, a meal, and then it comes with a dessert.
Oh,
So I had
you were no choice but to order.
I had clam chowder, Caesar salad, grilled shrimp and broccoli, and then the brownie.
By the way, Caesar salad, very fattening, but keto friendly.
Keto friendly. That's why I ordered the
Without the
Caesar
croutons.
because Kelly told me it was keto friendly.
Yeah, leave off the croutons and you can have Caesar salad. Caesar dressing and ranch dressing are keto approved.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, you'd be really surprised with some of the stuff you can eat on this. It's like I go to bed at night and I'm so full because of the fat. I'm eating like a whole avocado because those are really good fats. And I wake up the next day and I've dropped a little bit. So
Oh, so check this out, babe. I didn't tell you this. So the whole reason my mom and dad invited us to go to lunch was because they said they had a gift card.
Oh.
Okay. So my dad, the bill comes out and we always play the, well, who's picking it up game. Well, my dad just reaches for it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's unprecedented. He just whipped his credit card out, laid it down, paid. And I said, Dad, I thought you had a gift card or something. He's like, oh man, I
you forgot to use it?
And then he reaches in his shirt pocket. He pulls out a paper coupon, and it was a $3 off.
Aww.
I'm like, Dad,
And you had to use it before it expired?
I was like, that's $100 bill. You were only going to get $3 off. He said, here, just you can have it. Take Brooke or Kelly to lunch.
That's so sweet.
Oh man. Okay, so that was Red Lobster. What else?
That was your Red Lobster story?
That was my Red Lobster story. What else
Well,
you got?
I was going to say, Alan and I, we could talk about us all day long, which
we're happy to do.
We're happy to do that. But there's other stuff going on in the world. So I told Alan, I said, why don't we, I know it's hard, we're doing a once a week podcast. If we talk about something, it might be a week after the fact it happened before we get to talk about it. But why don't we just go through the news, read some of the headlines and some interesting articles we find, and just talk about what we think is interesting that's happening. Right? Something that just stands out to you. And what did we decide to call it? Interesting
stuff.
Because we can't think of a clever title for it. Honey, something's in my eye and it is driving me bananas. Okay. I'm going to try to think.
Do we need to
I don't know. It's like almost like where I want to stop the podcast.
When you can get it back together
so bad.
Here? Do you need me to do anything?
No. It's all right.
You need a saline rinse.
I need something, but now my mascara's all smearing and it's awful.
Would you like me to hold your microphone so you can use two hands?
It's okay. Pop my eyeball out and put it back in. Okay. Maybe that would work.
I can do that.
So who wants to go first?
Why don't you go first? And just to be clear, these are news stories we hand selected as those that you and I thought were interesting.
Yeah, and we didn't share them with each other, but looking over your shoulder at your laptop, we picked the same story, one of them.
Aww.
Well, one of them, but that's okay.
Okay, we'll do that one. Do that one last. That one last.
Now, earlier this month, I was asked to speak at Capital One at their Plano campus for International Women's Day. Well, I don't know how I missed the memo on this, but did you know the month of March is Women's History Month? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I just thought it was this one day. But back in 1987, Congress declared March as Women's National History Month, a National Women's History Month. I had no idea. And I think it was President Carter who deemed a certain week as National Women's Week, to really focus on stuff. And now it's celebrated around the same time, and March 8th ended up being International Women's Day. So that's why I was asked to participate. Well, when I heard that the whole month was supposed to be about women's history, I was like, we almost missed the boat here. March is almost over. So I decided to look up some famous women in history. And maybe you can tell me who some of your favorite female historical figures are.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, look at Alan's, the fear in his eyes. Oh, I got to think of famous women. So I Googled it, and the first thing that popped up was this article from Esquire magazine.
Esquire?
Esquire is what?
It's a men's magazine.
It's a men's magazine. Keep that in mind.
It's a men's fashion magazine.
They had their 75 most famous women in history is what they went with. And they did do a couple of really great historical figures.
Very liberal magazine.
Well, I don't know about that. I was just looking at this article.
Yeah.
It's like Marie Curie was one of theirs.
Oh, yeah.
Very famous. She was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize, the first and only woman to win it twice. She was a pioneer in radioactivity research. And
didn't know that.
Well, I just learned something when I was doing this little research. She died at the age of 66 from aplastic anemia that she got from exposure to radiation in her research.
No kidding.
Yes. So I thought that was very interesting. And she got it in her work in the field hospitals during World War I. So that was nice of Esquire to call her name out. They also mentioned other famous women like Joan of Arc, Eleanor Roosevelt, Sacagawea.
I thought it was Sacagawea.
Or that, Sacagawea. But then the rest of their list was like hot actresses and hot models and singers.
Nothing wrong with hot actresses and hot models.
And the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Nothing wrong with that, for sure.
All of them into one woman. So I was like, okay, well, let me go look for another list because, I really really that they named Susan Sarandon, which, by the way, I was told to look a lot like her on our spring break trip. And
that's an insult.
Dolly
That's
Parton
an insult to you.
and people like that. That is not. She's beautiful.
You're much prettier than Susan Sarandon.
Honey, you're supposed to say that. Well, so I went to a woman's magazine, Marie Claire, and they put their own list of the 15 most inspirational women. They did this last year, but they listed Marie Curie, just like Esquire did.
Okay.
I'm not going to go through the whole list because it's just too many. But Amelia Earhart.
Yeah.
A pioneer
Amelia
in
Earhart.
aviation.
My mother's name, Amelia.
Yes. She was not the first woman to receive a pilot's license. She was the sixth, but she was the first female aviator to fly solo across the Atlantic.
Never found.
In 1928.
Never found.
Thinking they find. I just saw an article recently where they think again they might have found her bones on some island, but they don't know. She disappeared over the Pacific Ocean in 1937 when she was trying to fly around the world. Another woman that I should have known about and did not, Didn't learn this at NASA. Valentina Tereshkova. In 1963, she is a former textile worker from the Soviet Union and became the first woman in space, orbiting the Earth 48 times, and she was only 26 when she did it.
How about that?
How
She's
about
from
that?
Russia?
Yes, she was the first woman in space. We've had
No
some
kidding.
women in America, but she was the first woman in space. Another woman I should have known about, did not learn about it in school, and should have, Emmeline Pankhurst. In 1999, Time magazine named her one of the 100 most important people of the 20th century. Not just one of the most important women, one of the most important people, because in 1903, she co-founded the Women's Social and Political Union with the focus of getting women the right to vote. She went to prison for her fight. She was abused. She went on a hunger strike, but ultimately her victory is won. Things we take for granted now was women had to fight and suffer for that. She was a true suffragette.
That's why it was called women's suffrage.
That's right. Malala I'm going to butcher it, Yousafzai.
Gesundheit.
Well, this is a really tragic story. She's this little Pakistani girl that a gunman got on her school bus, asked her name, and then shot her 3 times in
What?
the head, and she survived because she was campaigning as a child for girls to have the rights to an equal education as boys got. And now she's become this huge figurehead for, girls getting educated, and Time in 2013 named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world too.
Okay.
And in 2014, she got the Nobel Peace Prize. So I think it's a really good thing for, to sit down with your daughters and your sons, because we just take, it's like, they should teach more women's history in school. We just take for granted because most of the historical figures we learn about are men. But I think it's, I didn't think about it in school, didn't think about it. But a lot of contributions from women that should be noted.
Mm-hmm. I agree, babe. I agree.
So that was one of my interesting things that I saw this week.
So, off the top of my head, to piggyback on that, give me, as influential women, just off the top of my head, give me Susan B. Anthony.
What did she do?
I think she made the first American flag, didn't she?
No! Oh my gosh!
What did Susan B. Anthony
Betsy
do?
Ross did the flag.
What did Susan B. Anthony do?
She was some sort of political woman.
Some kind of God, we're really showing our ignorance
doing the
here.
vote thing too, but I didn't pick her.
Well, she was on the dollar. She was on a
the
dollar
first
coin.
dollar.
Okay, I don't know what she did.
You just picked a woman that you knew the name.
Give me Sally Ride.
Okay, and we know.
First American woman in space. I'm pretty sure. And give me Mary Lou Retton.
Mary Lou Retton?
Yeah.
Why?
I just remember the 84 Olympics in LA, and she was all over everywhere, and I was a little kid, and I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I was just thinking of how she forwarded the women's movement. I mean, that's good. She did a lot for
Okay. Now I'm feeling
gymnastics.
I'm feeling self-conscious about my news stories because
That's the only heavy one I have.
because
that was the only heavy one I have.
Kelly just gave us this big history lesson on
did
this
research.
real powerful, timely subject, Women's
History Month.
Women's History Month, right? Okay, here's my story. And this comes to us, this happened in the last week. This comes to us from Glendale, Wisconsin, where police are seeking the public's help in identifying an irate McDonald's customer.
Really? What happened?
Well, they assaulted a teenage employee after receiving the wrong breakfast order.
Oh God, this has gotten out of control. Where
Yeah.
they attack these fast food workers.
Here's what happened. The suspect and a friend, they reportedly pulled up to the drive-thru of a McDonald's just before 11 a.m. on March the 18th, babe. They roll in there. They place an order for a breakfast sandwich with bacon.
And what happened?
This is according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. But upon receiving said breakfast sandwich with bacon, they received a breakfast sauce sandwich with sausage.
Oh, that's a big difference.
And the woman became angry. She says, "What the bleep is this? I didn't order no sausage biscuit," said the woman.
Say, "Excuse me, you got my order wrong. Could I please get this with bacon?"
Who then
That's what I would do.
threw the food back at the drive-thru
People
operator.
are so angry. It's ridiculous.
A manager replaced her order with another sandwich, but she and her friend soon returned, this time entering into the restaurant.
Because why?
Well, they claimed the order was still wrong. The woman proceeded to walk behind the counter to argue with the manager and ended up shoving a separate 17-year-old female employee to the ground.
No.
Yes.
This person has to be prosecuted.
They then fled the store.
Yeah, they're so brave.
And the McDonald's employee was transported to the hospital for evaluation. So,
Yeah,
if
they gotta
any,
be on the safe
we got
side.
any listeners up there in Milwaukee? I doubt it, but if we do,
Well, this person's face is all over your computer screen, so I'm sure they'll find them.
the Glendale Police Department is now asking for information for any of the women, and they want to know where the bleep their sausage sandwich is
That's ridiculous.
with bacon.
Well, I've got another interesting thing
Let's
that
hear
I
it, babe.
found. When's the last time you saw a payphone?
Within the last,
Can you think of it?
Last couple of years,
You have it because they're almost extinct,
yeah,
not quite.
Yeah, they're almost extinct.
Back in 1999, there were around 2 million payphones in the U.S. And according to the FCC, as of right now, there are about 100,000 payphones left in the United States. And about a
Really?
fifth of them, that's 20,000, are in New York.
20,000 payphones
And people
in New
are
York.
still using them, which is gross. Because when I think of payphones, I used to use payphones all the time when I was a kid and didn't think anything about
Get
it.
outta here.
But now they're just so nasty. But I did the average. They said they reported a $286 million revenue in 2015 because it takes a while for them to compile statistics. And on average, that means each payphone takes in about $7.84 per day.
Wow,
Isn't that crazy?
that's crazy.
I just don't ever see payphones anymore or think about it. I just thought that was interesting. See, that's why we call it interesting things.
That's interesting.
What do you think's interesting?
That's a good one. No, that's a good one. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, my next news story. This also happened. This happened earlier this month. It's somewhat timely, but this happened aboard a Virgin Atlantic flight.
Okay.
Now, have you ever been rowdy on an airplane?
No.
You ever been asked to leave
I'll be
the
honest.
airplane?
We've had some really fun times on airplanes, but you have to kind of read the room. And, you know, when everybody's kind of getting along and you've got a great flight attendant, like Southwest Airlines is really known for that because everybody's in a good mood and playful. And you can have fun. I mean, I've been on a plane where like Big Al Mac got up and they let they let him hand out the peanuts.
My
You try
man.
that on flights now, and they don't think that's funny. But you know, you have to kind of read the room. But we've had fun on a plane before, but I've never gotten yelled at or fussed at.
Well, these people didn't read the room, babe, because on a March 13 flight that left on Virgin Airlines from Gatwick Airport in London and en route to Cancun, Mexico.
Well, that's a far flight. That's a long flight.
We've been there. Flight attendants were furious to find a man and a woman,
Oh no! what
both in their late 20s, having sex in the economy cabin bathroom.
That's awful. I don't understand. I've heard of the Mile High Club. I've not. A big shocker. I'm
But
not
check
a
this
member.
out. Check this
How
out.
do you fit in there with two people?
No, but check this out. Here's how it materialized. A flight attendant chastised the pair. She asked them, "Would you jeopardize your holiday for oral sex?"
Honey, why are we doing this story?
Because it's interesting. She asked the jam-packed 11-hour flight after finding the man with his pants down and the woman on the toilet. According to the outlet, passengers said the very friendly woman was totally sloshed before boarding.
Oh.
She turned up on the plane sloshed at 12:30 p.m. She was very friendly, approached me and my pal for a chat, said a male passenger. The woman then struck up a bond with a guy who was traveling on his own.
So she didn't know this guy.
Didn't know the guy, and sat across the aisle from her before they began kissing.
Oh my!
Minutes later,
Well, she was going to Cancun. She was already in vacation mode.
you're making an excuse for her.
No, I'm just saying she was already there mentally.
Minutes later, she disappeared into the toilet, and he followed her in. It was so obvious. Everyone knew what was happening because she had been so loud and rowdy. After the cabin crew caught the pair in the act, the man tried to claim that the woman was sick to justify his presence in the bathroom.
Oh gosh.
Which the
Alan,
stewardess
I'm
were
gonna
not
have
having.
I'm going
What?
to have to review your interesting things before you do them.
So the stewardess finds the pair. She says, "You're not even traveling together. Why are you in there?" The
Well,
flight
we know
attendant.
why they were in there.
The passengers clapped and jeered as the pair was escorted back to their separate seats. Minutes later, the rowdy woman got into a spat with her female traveling companion and reportedly threw drinks around the cabin.
Oh my gosh. So what do they end up doing? Turning the plane around?
No, the end result is they landed in Cancun, and she is banned forever for flying Virgin Airlines.
So how's she going to get home? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wow. That's wow.
Again, I'm going to have
You
to
ever,
look on your shoulder. I just
ever,
told you I've never been a member of the Mile High Club. I just told you that.
What about the? What about the?
No, don't even. Don't, Alan, don't
about
do
the
that.
15,000 foot club? Well, that'd be 3 miles. It's 5,280
All right.
feet.
So
a mile,
speaking
right?
of planes, I did not know you were going to do that story, obviously. But I did find an article that I thought was interesting on how to avoid getting sick on a plane. Because I
that's
am
a good one.
convinced I picked up whooping cough on a flight from Denver to Dallas. I am convinced of it. And it was a nightmare I suffered for 3 months. It was awful. If you please get if you were vaccinated as a child, you've got to get a booster vaccine as an adult. Don't get whooping cough. It's awful. But based on this new study, you can really improve your chances of remaining healthy on an airplane if you pick the right seat. If you pick a window seat and stay put for the duration of the flight, and that's normally what I do.
I pick my seat a lot.
But I've started flying in the middle seat more because of Alan. I defer because I want to sit next to him because I'm in love. So I've given up my precious window seat to sit in the middle to be next to him. But they say if you sit next to the window seat and don't move, you're not coming into contact with more and more sick people. The people that sit on the aisle, you have a greater chance of exposure to sick people because if they're up and down the aisles or the crew members that might be sick. Now, they went on, this is an interesting part of this study they did. They went on 10 different flights, 8 of them at the height of flu season.
Mm-hmm.
And these flights were between 3.5 and 5 hours each. So there's a lot of time to be exposed. And I assumed it was, coming through the air vents or I don't know. But they said out of all those flights, at the height of flu season, they only observed one person actively coughing. And they did swabs of all the seatbelt buckles. They found no evidence of any of the 18 different respiratory illness causing viruses on any of the planes. But they say what happens is they could still track passengers' movements, and based on knowing that, most of these are spread by coughing, sneezing, and just breathing, they determined that the 11 people seated closest to a sick passenger, the 11 people seated closest to that sick person, the 2 others in their row, the 3 passengers in front of them and behind them, and the 3 passengers seated right across the aisle, they're the most likely to get sick. Nearly everyone else on the plane has a negligible risk. Outside of that radius, people in window seats have the lowest overall risk of getting sick as long as they don't get up and move. And all told, a sick passenger is likely to infect at most 2 other travelers, while an ill crew member who's doing more through the flight can infect up to 4 or 5.
Wow.
Is that interesting?
That is interesting stuff.
That was interesting.
That is interesting
That's why
stuff.
I included that in my interesting thing.
That's why our segment is called Interesting Stuff.
Yes. And we are about to share the same interesting thing, which
Well,
I'm
I
going
have-
to let Alan have after we tell you about our lovely
Oh,
friends
you're gonna do that. Okay.
at Stamps.com.
You love
Listen,
Stamps.com.
I do. I'm one of those people that loves the post office. And it takes a lot to keep me from going to the post office. It's one of my more fun errands I like to run. But the U.S. Postal Service is basically working hand in hand with Stamps.com because, it's an important part of any business, getting your packages, getting your mail out in a timely manner.
Now that you're a small business owner,
Right.
you're going to do a lot more of this.
And Stamps.com is the easiest way to access pretty much all the services of the post office right from your own desk, from your home if you work out of your home, or small business if you have a printer, a computer, and one of these digital scales we're about to tell you about. And it's for anything you want to mail, from a postcard up to these huge packages. There's no guessing because when you weigh it with this scale, you'll never overpay or underpay again because you have exact postage with Stamps.com. And Alan, okay, there we go. And I use Stamps.com because, look, it saves me time, and time equals money. And in this day and age, we got to get it done. And Stamps.com, when you get it all packaged and bundled, the postman will pick it up from your home or from your business and take it to the post office for you. And right now, you can enjoy the benefits of Stamps.com with a special offer, including a 4-week trial plus postage and that digital scale we told you about. If you go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in sandwich. That's Stamps.com and enter sandwich.
Sandwich, babe.
Yep.
That code gets you savings.
It does. We love that code.
Yeah, we sure do.
Now let's talk about the last interesting thing. And then we do want to talk a little bit. This is not one of our interesting things about the bombings in Austin. We want to talk a little bit about that too, I'm sure. But the last interesting thing that we both happened to pick out, I saw it over your shoulder.
Yeah, my two were silly. My first two were silly. This one, how can I say this? I don't see myself as the stereotypical
Save the planet guy.
Yeah, tree hugger, save the planet guy.
Yeah.
I like a clean environment.
I recycle.
I respect animals just as much as I do people, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe not. But this story got me
sad.
Yeah, it made me sad too. There's a species of rhinoceros called the white rhinoceros.
The northern white.
The northern white rhinoceros. This big, majestic animal. And the last male rhinoceros in the wild
He's not in the wild.
passed away. He was on a conservation area.
He had been in this conservation because of poachers. That's why
Right.
these animals are becoming extinct, because there is this fallacy that the tusk of a rhinoceros, they grind it down in powder, and they believe it has medicinal purposes. Not only medicinal purposes, but helps with men's virility, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's why they're killing
I know what
these
you're talking about.
animals and using their horns. So they had this animal living in a conservation area, guarded 24 hours a day by armed guards.
And there's
they have to protect them from poachers.
And there's a high demand for their horns in places
That's what I
like
just said.
China and Vietnam.
Yeah, because they use them for their medicines.
Yeah, but this rhino named Sudan, he was 45 years old. He just died of old age.
Well, they had to put him down because his health was so bad.
Right.
But he was the last male. There was another male that died last year. And now the only two surviving northern white rhinos are females. And they are Sudan's daughter, Najin, and his granddaughter, Fatou.
And you know what I heard about those two?
What?
If I can find it. Yeah.
What?
His daughter, Najin, is 28. His granddaughter, Fatou, are considered young by comparison.
Right. They're going to try in vitro with them.
Well, yeah, because Najin can conceive, but her hind legs are so weak.
Right. Well,
she may not be able to support a mounted male.
She can't do that anyway now because he's dead. They have to do in vitro. You're halfway listening to me. You're half listening and half reading the article, because unlike you, I actually read the article.
No, I don't like it when a species becomes extinct, because that's forever, man.
You just wanted to say humping or mounting is what you wanted to say.
This is according to CNN,
All right.
a
Okay.
credible
Well, that's
news
the truth,
support.
but it's the truth.
According to
But
CNN.
If you've been listening to me, I just told you there's nobody to hump her anymore.
It's according
She has
to
be in
CNN.
vitro, which is a very, with humans, they've come a long way with in vitro. I had to have in vitro to have my daughter.
Sudan suffered from a low sperm count.
Oh my gosh. But okay, so they have some sperm on ice from these rhinos, because there was also another male that died last year. But if they don't get these two girls, and from what I understand, they've tried it, that it has not succeeded yet. So if they can't get these girls to reproduce, then this is going to be an extinct species.
Extinct species.
And it's sad. I'm very sad about that. There's other rhinoceroses, but this will be the end of the northern white rhino.
But here's the thing, like, species become extinct all the time. Like little fish or little bacteria or different kinds of plants, and you never know about it, you never hear about it. Far away places you'll never visit. But I don't know, it's just like this big majestic animal, I guess you can identify a little bit more with.
Yeah.
And the species has
just
been around for thousands of years, right?
It's not like they're dying off because of something, just natural. It's
Right.
because of the hands of man.
Yeah.
Killing them for these horns that do nothing. So that's what's just so sad. So that really did strike me. I don't know why it struck me so bad.
Yeah, me
this week.
too.
It made me sad.
It is sad because, extinct is forever. You can't get them back.
No. But hopefully we'll find out that one of these is pregnant with a male.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's, I mean,
But
now
think
you're
about
talking about inbreeding. I don't know how this works.
But think about how long that would take. I mean, these are animals that don't they just have one calf? I mean,
I don't
they don't
know,
have a
I
big
guess.
litter of
I imagine.
rhinos. They have
I
like
imagine.
one, like a cow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think about how long it would take to bring a species like that back. This is not related, but I saw another article that said there are only 400 tigers left in the wild.
A certain time?
Bengal tigers
Bengal. Oh.
left in the wild. Only 400.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is bad.
That is crazy.
Now we got to start a campaign to save the Bengal tiger
Well-
before it's too late. I mean, 400 is not a lot, but now you're down to 2 rhinos.
Like I said, humans got enough problems trying
Oh
to
my gosh.
figure out our own ish, but it does make me sad when a animal like that goes extinct.
Well, I will tell you this: we live about 3 hours outside of Austin, Texas, and it was just really. And I know by the time this airs, this is going to be old news, but we just have to say, just such a sense of relief that they found the guy, this young 23-year-old guy, and I don't like glorifying these horrible people that do these terrible things, but they found him, and he left behind. I was just watching the news tonight, and by the time you hear this podcast, you'll even know more than what we know right now. But there was like a 25-minute recording he made where he confessed and described each of the 7 bombs that went off, so they know it's him. And they said he gave enough detail about each bomb to know this is their guy. They feel fairly confident that was all the bombs, but they're not. They're saying we should still all be diligent. If there's any suspicious packages, still call the police and stuff. But just such a sense of relief to wake up this morning, flip open my laptop, and that was the first story staring at me, that they caught him. And that reign of terror, as short as it was and tragic, at least it's over. So
Yeah, I have a bunch of, people that I know down in Austin I used to work with and friends. And, I really felt sad for all the people down there that were going through that.
And
but
it's all over the news, and it's really shocking because a lot of people just don't. You just, you get on your phones, you're streaming all these Netflix shows, or you're watching, cable, reality TV. We had a girl from our office that went down to South by Southwest this weekend, and we asked her when she came back, were you worried about all the bombing? And she's like, well, I didn't know anything about that. No idea that was going on. And it was like, it should have been the number 1 headline. How could you miss it? But some people just don't know what's going on. So anyway, we just want to say that we're just so happy and relieved that hopefully is over.
the knuckleheads who do this kind of stuff are sick. They're sick in the head. There's
we have a
no
mental health problem in this country.
there's
There's no question.
no logical explanation why somebody wants to kill somebody with bombs like that. But I'll tell you what, if you try some crap like that, you will be found. The Timothy McVeigh thing, the Oklahoma City bombing.
It takes time, but they do.
They found that a-hole with just a little piece of the VIN number on the truck that he blew up.
Yeah.
The FBI and the police, they are professionals, and they will find you.
Yeah, back in the day, like there are those serial killers from back in the day, but this is before a lot of the technology we have today, in the media and they can track you. Big Brother's watching, right?
Heck yeah.
I'm one of those people that I don't mind Big Brother because I'm minding my business and I'm legal and I'm doing everything.
Well,
I don't care. Honey, I don't care. If there's a surveillance camera in every parking lot I ever visit, I don't care. Because
that's a hot sports opinion.
Well, I don't care because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
What about your
bathroom?
bathroom?
And then you see,
what about in your bathroom?
Oh, in my home bathroom, that's different. I'm talking about
what about in a public bathroom?
I'm talking about. Okay, now you're getting silly.
No, I'm not getting silly.
I said in parking lots. I'm not talking about in the bathroom.
How far
stall.
you want to take it?
But when they use those to find people that kidnap girls and stuff and attack people, I think that's important. If everybody was just doing what they were supposed to be doing and being good people, we wouldn't need surveillance cameras.
Well, yeah.
It's out of control.
That's the thing.
Out of control.
Hey, I've got some advice. Everybody follow the rules.
That's right. And play nice.
Easier said than done, I guess. Well, babe, we're not trying to finish. Oh, no. We're going to talk about one more thing, just real quick. How are we doing on time?
We've been talking too much. I know we have.
How are we doing on time? Oh, so we're bringing this podcast to you 98% commercial free.
Yeah.
Kelly and I, just real quick, we launched a company. And I think we've mentioned this on a podcast in the past. We just launched our own business. It's called Kanda Media or K&A Media.
But it sounds cuter to say Kanda, doesn't
Sounds cuter to say
Kanda.
Kanda. But I'm not going to
Kanda can do.
Not going to tell you about everything that we can do, but if you go to our website, kellyandallen.com/KANDA, there's a list of services there. I know a lot of our listeners, our social media followers, are business owners themselves. And if you would like Kelly or Kelly and I or me to help you with your marketing in some way, I know there's a way that we can help you do that. But we're really excited to get this going. It's always been a dream of mine to own my own business and then have my wife, as my co-owner and my partner helping me. It's really a lot of fun. I've never had more fun working in my life.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So we're already starting to work with some companies and help them out. And I think things are they're going to grow. I really have a lot of confidence they're going to grow. So if you need some help from us in the marketing area, go to our website. There's a form. Again, there's a form. Fill it out. Kelly and I will get it, and we'll take a look. We can set up a call. We can talk to you about whatever your marketing needs are and just go from there.
I appreciate you doing that. Kanda.
Kanda
can do.
And we'll have a real website, on its own eventually. But
we're starting off
real
it's a soft
small.
Launch.
We're starting off real small.
Right. So I think that's quite enough for us for this week's A Sandwich and Some Love. And hey, if anybody knows Landon from Living with Landon, tell her I love her and hope to meet her someday in Nashville.
I see her face every night before I go to sleep.
Yes. Give her a shout out for me. What if I find out that she listens to A Sandwich and Some Love and I'm going to freak out?
You talk about it. There ain't 10 people that listen to A Sandwich and Some Love.
Oh, honey.
That's not true. We have almost 1.5 million downloads.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So don't forget you can subscribe, and that way you never have to miss an episode. And if you're watching us on the Facebook Live, we appreciate that too. But hopefully you're also listening to the podcast because maybe there's something you missed. And it does sound a lot different on the podcast than when we recorded on Facebook Live.
It
don't
does.
You think?
It sounds a lot better.
It's a different energy.
And for those of you who are watching the Facebook Live, you see behind us this wonderful tapestry that has the A Sandwich and Some Love logo on it. I ordered that myself from our store. And if you like hats with the Sandwich and Some Love logo or shirts, we have all playing cards. We got all kinds of wine stoppers, flip-flops. We got all kinds of cool stuff out there. But go check it out. It's kellyandallen.com/shop. And there's always a sale going on, like a 15% off or 20% off sale. But yeah, go check that stuff out and tag us on social media and show us wearing your stuff, and we'll send you some more free stuff.
Hey, ooh.
There you go. I said it.
You said it.
I can do that.
All right, but not everybody's going to get free stuff.
Not everybody.
We gotta turn a profit at some
just
point.
the people we really like who listen to us every week.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to Lori. Let us know with your love letter to Kelly and Alan how that works out for you. If you get the proposal you want, and remember, you can go to kellyandallen.com, click on Meet Kelly or Meet Alan, and there will be a link there where you can message us if you have any questions or comments.
All right, babe. Well, this was fun. I love you so good.
Love you.
I love you desperately. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.